just gonna wait for this, but I lost all the flowers on this one now too. They just dry out so quickly. It's got a bunch of new flower buds. It's doing pretty well even though it dried out, but with the soil type and these pots being so small, they're just drying out very, very quickly this year, even though it's cold. This one's got a bunch of new flower buds on it too. So I don't think I can wait. I'm going to repot these. I'm going to reuse some of them Christmas pots from the dwarf Alberta spruce that the forest came in, because these guys are just in training, so I want them to grow nice and tall and get their trunk on them, and then we can style them. So let's start the work on that today. I decided to put the camera on top of the palette today so you guys could get a closer look, and so I make sure I keep everything in frame. I'm gonna do all the work on the tray here. Just move my newly mixed soil aside. So I'll start with this one. I do have my tools here. Just pop this little one out of the pot. I've got some good roots. And this one is Fuchsia Electric Lights. Hopefully that comes in clear. I'll see later. And both of these have the same color flowers, but the flowers on each one are like a different style, if that makes sense. One is like a single petal and the other one is thick bloom. If that makes sense, hopefully. Wow, these roots are really thick. Guess I should be doing this sideways so that you guys can see. Oh, and there's a big plug in here. There's this big plug. I hate those. I detest them because the plugs never dissolve, and it just keeps the roots in there. See, that's the material from the outside of the plug. It doesn't dissolve, even though it says it's going to. It never does. I'm just bringing the soil down. Oh, there's a few shoots there I broke off, but that's okay. We don't want them that low on the trunk anyway. These roots are very fragile, and I want to get that plug out of there, or the material from surrounding it, so I'm going to be taking a lot of these roots off. All the nice thick roots are all shoved down into that plug there. You can see the plug. Hopefully I've got that in frame. I can't see the other side of the camera, so we're winging it today. That's going to be a ton of roots gone just because of that plug. These garden plugs are no good. Get all that material off so the roots can grow normally. Oh, that's awful. Awful things. really small plug too. I'm not usually that small. Okay, that's most of it. Oh, that's about the amount of root we're going to be able to keep, I guess. Luckily for us, it pops out pretty radial. That's not too bad. So there's some lower buds down here. I'm just going to break off and take off this lower branching here. I'm not sure if these root. I think I want to take off a lot of these lower branches. The trunk's already starting to get kind of woody down there, so I'd like it to have the least amount of scarring possible. And some of these branches are actually getting pretty thick. So I'll just knit those. It's going to be a big pile. Oh, all my flower buds. That's okay. It's for the greater good. This is my one that has its actual apex, even though it dried off. A little bit more. Take some buds off. There are lots of buds growing. That's good. Just trying to clean them up. Okay. I'll probably go farther later. Just right now, that's as far as I want to go. I think. No, maybe one more. Oh, one more. That's pretty much all my flower buds gone, but here we are. I gotta kneel down. My back's not holding up to that. Okay, so a lot of these branches are bar branches. I'm just gonna take off this leaf here. So with these bar branches, we gotta pick one. I'm going to pick the thinner one down here and take the thicker one off. I'm taking off these leaves as we go. I guess every leaf buds a branch, which is kind of cool. That means directional pruning will work on this. So same thing, the next set up of bar branches, I'm going to keep the thinner one and take the thicker one off. I think that'll work out nicely. And these ones split at the top here. They also split farther down. I'm going to take the middle out and bring this branch back. And this one too, the end has dried off and it's splitting lower down. I'm going to take the middle out to where it splits. Same thing with this one. Splits into 3 there. And not sure what I'll have as a front, but same thing. I'm going to take off the thicker branch and keep the thinner one. Take this leaf off and this leaf off. Yeah, I lost a lot. This is the one I think got caught by a frost when I first brought them home, because all the tips died right when I first brought it home. Just gonna take off all the dead tips so I can see what's in there. So this one here comes up and it splits into 3. So there's one growing back into the tree. I'll take that off, and the leaf that's with it. There we go. A few leaves growing back. I'll take the leaves off. This small branch here looks okay. And this next branch up, take the leaf off so we can see. It's a little bit close, and there's one at the back that's thinner, so I'll take this one off. And the bud. And as we go up farther, take these big leaves off. And the next bar branch has a whole whack of new growth on it. Take the dead bit out here. And I think this one with this one on top would look strange. They're both like a ladder. So I think I'm going to keep this one in this case. I'm going to bring it back, way back, to two buds that are growing. And the bud that's growing in the center here, I'm going to remove that. And then I'm going to take them both off from the other side. Just like that. So it looks like this will probably be the front of this plant, tree. And as we get into the apex, the top has actually died, so I'll have to get a new leader growing. So I think I'll just leave it there. I do want this to grow a bit taller. So I may end up taking off these bottom branches later, but I'd like it to get some vigor first. That's quite a big trim we did for it. I'm going to take some of these inside growth out. Crotch growth, as it's known. And there we go. I think that's all of it. And that's it. We'll get that planted. We got most of that plug out of there. I won't do too much else. That's a lot of root we already removed, so we'll just keep that like that. And see if we can get it to flare. There's already a couple of flaring roots there, so I think that'll do. Oh, I don't know if these will root or if I should even try, but maybe we'll see. Oh, that's a little deep. I'm just gonna check if it's in frame. Yeah, it's in frame, sort of. Good enough anyway. We'll turn it closer here and add some more soil. The front towards you guys, even though this is a round pot, won't really matter too much. We'll get those all straightened out there. This radial pattern, and toss some soil over it. Just like that. So I'll plant these down a little bit deeper than I will have it in the future. Tried to say too many words at exactly the same time into one word there. But that should protect them, and hopefully they won't dry out so fast in this, because they were drying pretty quickly in that other stuff. There we go. There. That's one. So I'll go and water it, and then we'll come back and do the other one. All right, onward to the next one. And this one here, wow, that came out easily. This one here is Dollar Princess. Hopefully that comes through okay. Now this one here already had its top taken off. It was broken when I got it. Now, I'm probably going to have to do the same thing. Oh, we have had the bugs in here. It's usually the ants that do that. The queen ant, when they start their colony. They always start in a little encased area like that, and then they move out after. Yeah, this one's got a plug too. So we'll have to dig down to there, get that plug out. Just gonna put this in the pot here so I don't lose it. Ow! Try not to get slivers. This one here is pretty dry at the bottom. Even though I watered it several times, it's obviously using its water. Just got to get down to this plug that's in here. See it here? And peel that material away. Gonna have a look here. Oh, there's a bunch more in here. This plug's a long one, it goes right down to the bottom. There we go. Sorry, little plant. It's for the greater good. Look at these roots. Could you imagine if that plug wasn't there? These roots would be so perfect. I'm sure these are cuttings, but still. I think that's about all we can do. Hopefully we can save some of these roots and put them where we need them. Not much root left on this one. Oh, there's still more of that material here. Look at that. That stuff is awful. Okay. Alright, let's start chopping it apart. Oh, big in front of me. Okay. I'm not sure what my dog is playing with. Probably a bug. Maybe a spicy sky raisin or something. Alright, so we don't want any branches this low down. And look at that bar branch. That is real handlebars there. So I'm just gonna cut these ones off here. Wow, that one went all the way to the very tippy top. So, look at those bar branches. How's that, eh? This thing just shot out sideways because the top was taken off. Even the top is just a big bar branch. So I'm not too certain what I'll do with this one, but I gotta take off these lower branches. And the little new growth here. Look at that. That exposes a bit of trunk, and there's even buds behind the buds. Holy, that's crazy. Alright, next one up. Again, big huge bar branches. So for that, I might actually leave, see these shoots go down to that bar branch here. This one goes straight up, but this one's flowing, so I might take off both of those large branches. So I'll just do that first, rough cut. And then if you take a look at the two shoots there, one is flowing and one goes straight up. So I think I'm going to keep the one that's flowing over here and take the other one off. And then there's growth starting in the crotch of this one here. I'll take that off. And then I'll just try and clean up these cuts really quickly here. Hopefully I don't hurt it. Okay, and the next one up is even thicker because this is getting closer to the apex where it has been broken off. And there's, again, the two inside branches there. They're both trying to become the apex. And way up here, there's one that's growing almost vertical. So this time, I'm going to keep that vertical one because that will be my new apex. And up here, these are true bar branches. They don't flow at all. So I'm going to take I don't know if I should take them both off. Take this. Maybe I'll take this one back to here for now. And take off these dead leaves. This dead tips growing stuff. Okay, so this one's going to look a bit silly at first, but I think I need to leave some of this stuff in order to keep this tree healthy. Just taking off dead leaves and yellowing ones. Okay. So, one of these two will be my new leader, for my new apex. I actually think I'm going to leave them both for now. Maybe this one will flow out and become a branch. And then I can take this thick part off later. That's what I think I'll do. Just trim this old apex back that was broken off. This branch here, it's got 2 new shoots down here, so I'm going to bring it back to those. This one I'll have to leave it. This one I'll definitely leave because that's my new apex. And I will have to take this big thick part off later. But for now, I'm going to cut this back to these 2 leaves, and I'm going to leave this one because these leaves are not very good. And I'm just going to leave that so the tree can get some food back to its roots. And then later on, when these ones start to gain vigor and I start to see more growth elsewhere, then I'll take this big thick part completely off, and that can just be my apex. My new leader, I mean. I think that's all I can do for this one. And, oh yeah, same thing. We'll repot. Oops. I'll just see if that's in frame. And it is, somewhat. And some soil in there. Round it up in the middle like I did with the other one. Get out, ant. How did you get in there? And again, I want it to be a little bit deeper than I will have it later on. Just to get the roots healthy, because they are almost gone right now. And we'll just sort these little guys out here so that they're a lot more radial and they flow better. And we can do a proper sort later. Once it recovers, maybe another year or so. There, that's about right. Alright, I think that'll do for that one. I'll water that. And yeah, I did it. I kept some cuttings, and I will from this one too. Some of these are pretty thick and pretty nice. So I'm just stripping the bottom bits out, taking the large leaves off because those ones will lose the most water. Cutting back to a brain and sticking it in there. Look at this one. Like, look at that. That's a whole tree. Not that I need all these, but I'm sure I can find homes for these. These two different ones, even though they have the same flowers, even their leaf size and shape and stuff is just a tad bit different from the different varieties. Trains! Trains! Oh, that one's not too healthy. I won't bother with that one. This one's quite a bit healthier. That is not one of our usual trains. Sounds more like a Via Rail train than the normal cargo trains that go by. Interesting. That's enough. That is plenty more than I will ever need. So, that's it. I'll go water this. Well, that's all the fuchsias worked on, and hopefully they gain vigor and grow very nicely for me in the next couple of years here. Now I got 100 million other things to do today, so hopefully I can push out a few videos. I want to apologize to everybody. I've been trying to keep up on everybody else's videos, and right now with work and everything going on, it's not always possible. I try and get 1 or 2 videos in during the day, but some shifts I'm home, I eat, and I go straight to bed and don't even get a single video in. So I'll have to catch up on those in the wintertime when work is slower. I want to apologize to everybody for that. I do know you're out there, and I do want to watch all your videos in order. You'll see me kind of creep around in the background and comment on older videos, and that's because I don't want to miss any. I want to make sure I see them all in order. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe out there.